Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, now you know. My name is Shorty. I do post story times every Sunday, and if you want to join the family, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Every Sunday, I post a new story time about my life and the traumatic events that I've been through. Girl, I don't know how trauma finds me, but it's been like I was born out the womb with trauma. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but every Sunday I am gonna post videos about things that I've been through. And this is not to bash or be spiteful. It's just to tell my side of the story and help other people heal that have probably been through it. And thank you to the people that do share my videos to other people. I really appreciate that. You just don't know who you're helping. I hope I can be of a nuisance. But if you haven't already read the video, it's called Behind Closed Doors, and it's about my most traumatic domestic relationship that I've ever had. I'm not gonna get like emotional, or I'm gonna try not to, but this is really, really hard for me to talk about. So a few years ago, I ended up dating this guy, and I met him off an online dating site. And what started out was something so amazing and so great turned out to be one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. So just a little backstory. I did meet him off a dating app called POF. If you ever use POF, Plenty of Fish, I do not recommend it. Any person I've ever met off POF has just been a POS. Okay, just a POS. I cannot even. But before I go on from that, I want to go ahead and talk about the background about domestic violence. In case you didn't know, it is a super broad spectrum. It goes from physical, sexual, psychological, emotional, economical, and technological abuse. And usually people just focus on the physical part, but unfortunately, it's not just physical. There's so many things about domestic violence that a lot of people stay ignorant to, but I'm not going to get into that today. I'm just letting you know some of the broad spectrum of domestic violence. And if you do need help, or if you or someone that you know is going through it, at the end of this video, and as well as the link below, I will be linking the phone number that you can call or text. If it is an emergency, please call 911. Do not reach out to them. Call 911 if it is an emergency. Also, too, um, y'all, it's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel how you feel. How you feel is very, very much so valid. But you cannot let your abuser take over and make you feel like you'll never get out of it. Because you can. I did, and I have multiple times. And I'm here to tell you that you can do it too. I'm not superwoman. I didn't know how I was going to get out of a lot of things, but this is my story, how I got out of the most traumatic one that I've ever gone through. So with that being said, this story is called Behind Closed Doors. As I was saying, I did meet him off a dating app. Do not recommend meeting guys off dating apps. Honestly, at this point, I don't recommend dating guys at all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Am I kidding? I don't know. But yeah, so I did meeting him off a dating app, and he did catfish me. So when I first seen him, he was not who he said he was, and that was red flag number one. If you see any red flags in the beginning, like, I really need you to listen to me. Let them go. God has someone way better for you. Do not, one red flag in the beginning, cut it off. But okay, so I did meet him off the dating app, and then everything was cool. What started off as really amazing and awesome and felt safe, and he was just so protective, ended up being the most worst abuse that I've ever had in my life. So, a little backstory, I ended up moving in with him in South Central, and everything was cool in the beginning. We would go to church together, everything, like, but that's the thing about abusers, is they always have a front cover. Like, when I met his parents and everything, like, his mom knew who he was. Like, she really did. And she could have warned me, but because she thought I was sent from God, like, she didn't warn me. She thought I could change him. Ladies, gentlemen, homies, and homegirls, you cannot change anybody if they don't want to be changed. And you're not Jesus, okay? You're not the police. You're not rehabilitation. You're a person, okay? I need you to really understand that. And so, dealing with what I was dealing with, I can't tell y'all the first time he laid his hands on me, but I can tell you some experiences that I did go through with him. So, it all started with, which a lot of y'all probably don't think that it's a form of abuse, but it actually is. Your partner should not be telling you what you can and cannot wear. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. You are not telling me what I can and cannot wear. If you can't handle dating a baddie, don't. If you can't handle dating a baddie, don't. If you can't handle dating a baddie, don't. If you what? If you can't handle what? Then don't. That's right. That's right. Um, he would always try to tell me what to wear. Like, oh, you can't go outside like that. Oh, no, 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 no. You have to put on a t-shirt, or you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like, you just want attention. Da, da, da. I'm like, if I look good, I feel good. If I don't feel good, I don't look good. Like, I don't, my brain is not gonna function. So I've always been a girly girl. I've always, done my hair, done my makeup, everything like that. But during this relationship, it was really hard, like, to keep and upkeep. Like, I knew I always had to look good, but I also was like, what am I even doing now? So it started off with him trying to tell me what to wear, and of course, in the beginning, I did try to fight it, and then I realized I couldn't. Like, he would scare me. Like, honestly, he would scare me. And so, leading up to that, it ended up becoming like, if a guy were to look at me or talk to me, like, or anything like that, he would immediately try to beat him up. Like, and like some of y'all, like, toxicals might be like, oh my god, yes, my man, my man, my man. My man, my man, my man. Better not act like that because I'm not bailing nobody out of jail. Okay, you better control those anger issues and be secure about yourself, honey, because, uh-uh, you, you're not shooting up the club over here. Okay, we don't do that. And so there'll be times where we be out on like the train or just anything, and he was just constantly fighting. And a lot of y'all probably like, oh well, he's just a man. Does your daddy go out with your mama and fight everybody because they look at your mama? No, because your dad has common sense. And if you don't have a dad, then I don't know. But all I'm saying is that it was always, I was always so like scared to go out with him because I knew that he was gonna fight. And that he had put me in so many instances where he would get into a fight and then I would end up having a fight with him. Like one time these guys, like he started something with these guys in South Central by the Slots and Swap Meet, and like this dude in a van, and they all jumped out, dude. I'm talking about like with sledgehammers, with crowbars, everything, and they started fighting. And like this dude was my boyfriend at the time was like fighting him up, da da da. And then so like I seen this dude was about to hit him on the head with a hammer, and then the dude ended up hitting me in the crowbar with stomach in my stomach, and I peed myself because I got hit in the stomach with a crowbar, and I, like, and it's all because he always tried to start problems. So that's another red flag, ladies. If your man is acting like that, that's the first sign to showing that he's willing to put your hands on you. If he's willing to put his hands on other people he doesn't even know that are not even causing problems. So just keep that in mind. It's cool to have a very like protective man, but there's protective and then there's insecure. There's protective and there's insecure. Okay, so if you have an insecure man, I really need you to cut that off. Like it will lead you into something that you don't want to be into. So with that being the backstory, um, like we would always hang out with his friends too. And at one point, he thought that I liked his friend, which is his best friend actually. And so one night, one of the memories that I can remember, he was like, "That's why you like da 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 da," and I know that you're doing this da da da, and he ended up punching me like straight like right here, and I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, what did I even do? And so like I didn't even know what hit me. Like I knew he hit me, but I was like, you know, but because I've been through so much already, like I didn't really like cry about it. I was like I cried because I was scared. I was like, what? Like, what did I even do to you? But with that being said, the first time he ever laid his hands on me, or one of like the main times that he put his hands on me, it was always more like traumatic than I wanted it to be. I was used to getting slapped or spit in the face, but never punched with a full fist of fury. So that was very, 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 very scary. And with him just starting off punching me, it became kicking me, it became dropping me, it became throwing me, it became dragging me out in my underwear at two, like 1 in the morning down the street. Imagine being dragged out of bed in your underwear as you're holding on to bars, like bars on the fence, so he doesn't take you down and beat you. And like that part of that relationship was so, so scary because I couldn't yell and ask for help. I couldn't. I just couldn't. It was really scary. And I know I keep saying like it was really, really scary, but imagine not having anybody and these things are happening. Like, there would be times where we would be in bed and he would wake up and just punch me, just directly in my mouth, in my face, in my eye, as he woke up. Like, he just woke up just hating me. And then he would try to choke me. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I really don't know, like, why he was so angry. Like, sometimes, I don't know if y'all ever heard this, but if you drop the blunt, that means your girl is, like, somebody else. So anytime he dropped the blunt, like, his friends would instill in his head that I was doing that. And I'm not that type of girl. Like, I'm not that type of person. So he would get back from hanging with his friends and then try to pick a fight with me. There'll be times where we'd be in the shower and he would just start wailing on me, and then he would cover my mouth so I wouldn't be crying or screaming. There would be times in our relationship where he would, grape me. I can't say the real word on here, but he would grape me, and his mom especially would be like, "You guys are too loud, blah, blah, blah. Like, we can hear you in the other room." And for as a woman, and what she didn't understand is that I didn't want that. That was embarrassing for me to have to hear that, because the noise she thought that was happening was him covering my mouth because I didn't want to do anything. So imagine having to go through a fucking year of that shit. And then having no one to hear you, having no one to listen to you. And then on top of that, he was such a well-liked guy in the church and such a well-liked guy, like, around the neighborhood, like, because he grew up there. Everyone knew who he was. He was such a cool guy. You know, they couldn't believe that he could do something like that. Like, I'm just a new girl. Like, I'm probably just looking for attention, right? But the thing is that I never, ever, ever asked for help. Never. And that was my problem. I didn't ask for help. I didn't go to hotlines and try to find shelters and do all the other things. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go through shelters and all that on there. But to be honest, being a shelter would have been way better than that shit. It would have been way better than that shit. Like I'm telling you, there would be times where he would just wake up and just start wailing on me, just wailing. There would be times where we would be eating and he just boom. I would disagree with something and he would throw the plate across the fucking room. Food would go everywhere, everything like that. Like, it was such a fucking ticking time bomb. And it was like walking on broken shards of glass, and even though you're trying to, like, get around it, you're still cutting yourself because the whole fucking floor is covered in glass. There'll be times where he would get drunk and go crazy and go fucking ape shit. Like, on my birthday, one day on my birthday, he actually went absolutely crazy. I don't know if he was on drugs or what, but he tried to kill me on my birthday, where we were at an Airbnb party. And I will never forget this, I swear. And I know it's just, y'all probably like, oh, but it's because it was your birthday. No, it wasn't because it was my birthday. It was because we were sitting in the backyard, and we were sitting, like, okay, the Airbnb was like this house, and in the backyard it had a backyard, and like tea lights streamed across. And we were sitting on this little table, like patio furniture outside. It had two chairs and then a table, and it's all dark outside beside the tea lights and the window. And so we're sitting there talking, and mind you, I think he's already drunk and he was nauseating. If you don't know what nausea is, it's like whippets, balloons. It's, some gas that makes you just stupid. If you get enough of it, it makes you aggressive, and he was just already the aggressor. So he ended up punching me and dragged me out of the chair, and I was on the floor. And then he started he got these two thumbs and started pressing against, like, right here with his two thumbs. And I remember, like, being on the ground and looking up, and I was praying to God because I could not breathe. Like, I was like, 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 I felt myself, like, fading out. Like, this dude he was gonna kill me. And I remember praying to God, and I was like, if you're gonna take me right now, please forgive me for everything that I've ever done. Please take me to heaven. Please, please. I'm so sorry. And I just remember praying over and over and over. And I was trying to fight and kick and everything. And I just remember, like, everything was just going black. Like, my eyesight was just going blurry. And this one guy, this little Edgar and I know it sounds funny, but it's not. Little Edgar came running out from the back because he seen it. And he's like, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Then dude got off me and took off running. And then, so, of course, that's my ride home. That's the person I live with. So I went to go look for him. He ended up attacking another guy.
I was looking for him. Mind you, I'm wearing heels, I'm wearing jeans, and like this dress. A dress that I tucked into my pants because, again, in the beginning of the video, I told you he was telling me what I can and cannot wear. I bought a body contract, but he didn't want me to wear it, so I made it into a shirt. And so, anyways, this guy came and he's bleeding from, like, mind you, I'm in the street. I ran out from the Airbnb and to go look for him. I am in the street looking for him, and I'm like, Samuel, Samuel, that's not his real name. I was like, Samuel, Samuel, where you at? And so this dude came and he's bleeding from his head, like just blood is just, and I'm like, oh my god. And this guy's like, Miss, like you gotta go back inside. You gotta go back inside. There's this crazy guy, and he just hit me. And I'm like, what does the crazy guy look like? And he's telling me like, and he went that way and da. So I was like, that crazy guy's actually my boyfriend. So I went to go look for him. I know a lot of y'all are listening and probably like, oh my god, que pendeja, why would you go look for him? Like he just tried to kill you. When you're broken, you do a lot of stupid shit. You do a lot of stupid shit. And you haven't been in a type of situation like this where you're completely alone. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not even gonna apologize. So I ended up going to find him, and I find him, and he's banging his forehead on this apartment gate. Like, here's an apartment gate, here's the little entrance, and he's banging his head on this metal gate. And so these other two guys are on the inside. And they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Da, da, da. He's trying to get in to fight these guys or hurt them or whatever. Just because I don't know what the hell he was on, bro. And so he's just like, boom, boom, boom. And then I was like, Samuel. He turned around and he looked at me, went, boom, boom. Like just boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh my gosh. But like my adrenaline is so high that I'm taking every single hit and just going back and trying to grab him off the thing. And so the guys on the other side of the gate were like, yo bro, what the fuck, you know, they're freaking out and they're like, hey, leave her alone, and they're trying to get me. But I knew what he was capable of doing because I just seen him crack that dude's head open, and I didn't need those guys getting hurt. So I told the guys I'm fine. The other guy heard me while I was trying to scream because he was, you know, he was attacking me. He would go from banging his head on the gate to going back to attack me too. And I know a lot of you are like, why didn't you just leave him there? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So the guy ended up coming back, and my ex tried to fight him again, and so like he's just doing all this extra shit, and so the guy comes back and he's like trying to get in the gate. He's trying to help me like not get hit, but I pushed the guy. The other two guys opened the gate and I shoved the guy through before my boyfriend attacked him again. My boyfriend at the time ended up turning around punching me again in the face. So like I'm just constantly just getting whacked in the face. And so finally he pushes me where my arm gets stuck in the automatic gate. Not the one he's hitting his head on, but another one. A gate that's on the side, and the gate ends up pulling my arm. So all of this right here is pulled arm fat from getting pulled from the gate. And so imagine your arm getting pulled from the gate. He's pressing pressure on it. So as the gate is pulling my arm, he's also putting all his body weight on top of me and still hitting me in my face. And I let out the worst shriek I could ever let out. Like I didn't even think it was possible. I've never screamed like that in my life. And someone heard it and they called the cops. The cops came. I ran. My whole arm was fucked up. I have scars going around my arm, as well as this. And I ended up running because he tried to run after me, and I ran into a gas station and I locked the door. And the gas station guy was like, what are you doing? And I was like, he's coming, like he's attacking me. My arm's bleeding, like this is all like fucked up, and my face is all fucked up. I'm bleeding, and like I called my boss at the time, hysterical, and I was like, I don't know what to do. She ended up getting me a lift, and I ended up going back to the crib where we resided at, and I went to sleep. He came back the next morning, but before I left, the cops unfortunately let him go. And I seen him sitting at the top of the stairs at another apartment, and he was sitting there laughing to himself. It wasn't him. And for the first time in my life, I can actually say I met the devil. And he was real.